Sto perdendo, hello. Hello. Hi,
Hello.
Giulio. I know I got you like just all of a sudden. I didn't let you know that I was starting, but I know that you are always something interesting to begin this live
Yes,
show.
I do. I do. It's always first things first. So, hello, everybody. And then, we need to make sure that we do things right. So, I go back to the basics. All right. So, you, then tus. First you and last you pronounce them in the same way. Juventus. Okay. Name of the lady. Let's not mistake it with Juventus. It's Juventus. All right. Thank you.
Okay, I know you were super busy this morning because you couldn't wait to watch a game that you went out for breakfast. So at least
Yes.
can you let us know what you have for breakfast?
Oh, I had huevos rancheros. Huevos rancheros. Amazing. Yeah.
Okay, but were you
But I
able to
went
catch a
back and
game?
then I watched the second half, and then I went back and rewatched the first that I missed. So it was a fun game. I mean,
Yeah,
it
look,
was
it
a
was
fun
kind
game.
of like a end of a season game, and no pressure at all, So
Yeah.
it was.
1 second. Let me.
Done.
There is David that is join us. So let me send him the link.
Oh
One
yeah,
second.
perfect.
So we'll have one more person. Um,
So
all right.
Andrew, how you doing? So yeah, it was a look. I woke up pretty early because I had to play with the group of guys, with group of friends. We play soccer, so we started like at 7 a.m. I just play partially because I actually wanted to watch a game. I have no, believe me, I had no expectation at all. Okay, I just was curious. I'm just glad that I got the right. The right first sub in the JLC league.
Me
So
too.
yeah, I know. So
First sub, the star of the day.
I was curious to see if Jolly playing. It looked like he playing amazing. I was curious to see Alcaraz playing, and I was hoping that Itzo could end the game earlier, but then my dream didn't come true. I have no idea that guy can play soccer, but without being like booked or receiving a red card every game. So I have no idea
Right.
about that. And Maurizio, read what's up, please. So no, and actually, let me say that. Then we're gonna talk about the game. I was so happy to see, and we can talk about that later. Okay, and I was kind of nice to see there was no booing, and Alex Sandro went out with a nice round of applause, nice right. Like everybody's clapping, everybody. It was so emotional, but he had to. He got subbed that he was kind of crying. And it was. I like that. Like that I didn't want him to tie the record with Nedved, but at the end of the day, it was a perfect day.
Yeah, I mean, eh, something that needs to be said about like Alexander that we have always said that he has been always very loyal, very composed, always very polite, always accepted decisions of the coaches, never a bad word, even when people were booing him, that it wasn't fair. In the end, like, he overstayed, meaning he should have left probably 2, if not 3 years ago. But that's not on him.
Yeah.
That's not on him. That's like on the management that made the contract in the way they made it. That's on Allegri that kept on using him instead of, in a way, putting him on aside and forcing the hand and letting him go. So he hasn't done anything wrong. Would you leave when you have like a great contract? You're paid well. You feel at home. You've been there for how long? It's been with us 7, 8 years. I don't remember.
9.
9 years. So it's the guy has been like an example. If you think from that point of view. Hey, David.
Hi,
Uh,
David.
hey.
Afternoon, guys. How you doing?
Good. We're talking about Alex Sandro. We're saying that in the end, like he has been like a great, you know, from a behavior point of view, like a great person. You know,
He,
you
he,
you
he
you
never had
can you
anything
can
wrong
question.
to say. Yeah, he
No,
never have
no,
like a. And you were right. So at the end of the day, yes, he should have left like 3 years ago. But hey, it's not his fault that he had a contract.
no,
So
no.
Yeah.
He, anyone in his position would have done that. So I'm glad that today he scored. It was a great, you know, he scored. It was a great gift, parting gift. Like I like that the stadium gave him the right tribute. He would have not deserved to pass Nedved, honestly. So tying Nedved is fair considering he's been with us for 9 years. It would have been probably bummed if he didn't tie him at that point. So I think it ended in the right way, and there isn't much more
uh,
to say about the
so
person.
before asking David what he think about kind of general, we were speaking like general about the game where you are like honest adding something that he said that Allegri made him more than defensive than what he was. I don't know because that's like but to talk about that, today, okay. Think about having Alexandro played and Tyne Nedved 2 weeks ago. Okay, we would have probably the J Twitter probably would have exploded, like criticizing Allegri and everything. At the end of the day, today he played a decent game. Okay, everybody was just applause. It was just a clapping their hands. Okay, and there was no booing. It was basically we remove Allegri, and it looked like we can live like an afternoon or a morning quite in peace watching a soccer game, right? So, but okay, this is like my. So David, I don't know what you watched the game today, so I guess so. Julia and I, we got Pinsoglio, so you didn't get Pinsoglio, right? So
That's right. I totally forgot about Pinsoglio. I ended up with Miretti in there and totally forgot about the idea that he plays the second half. But yeah, I mean, I think I agree. At this point, it would have been kind of dickish to not let him play that last game, right? If
Right,
he'd been like one game short at this point, I mean, it
right.
would have been kind of miserable. So glad he played. I'm glad he scored. I'm glad he got a nice farewell. I mean, again, like you guys were saying, he's been a good soldier through the years, right? I mean, we can debate on when he should have left the team officially, but the fact that they gave him some playing time, the fact that he did well, the fact that he got a good send off, he was able to celebrate in front of the crowd with the cup, unlike someone else that left the team a week and a half ago. We don't need to go down that road, but yeah, I mean, I think it was good, and it was nice. Like I said in our other chat, right? I mean, I think it was nice to be able to just watch a game, see the team comfortably win, and not have to stress, right? I mean, it was a nice, comfortable win. It was nice to see everybody play a little bit more relaxed, whatever the reason. And it was a good result. Everybody played pretty well, and it was
yep.
nice. Like I said, nice to get a good win, nice to end the season. And I think it's a positive note for next year, right? Gives us a
So
positive, something positive to build on next year.
will Anna say that Allegri made him play last year just to get enough caps to get the automatic renew of his contract? I would like to think that if a coach last year at the end of the season we were basically competing for a Champions League spot that didn't happen, and we were competing to get like the Europa League final. I don't think that Allegri give anything for free to Alexandro, but I don't care at this point. As I named this episode, it's time to turn the page. To me, it's
Yep.
like tonight was fun because I was just able to watch a game, and usually when I watch a game, I don't watch my phone. Okay, so I know there was some conversation during the group, the club chat, always natural, and it was nothing bad. Okay, but I would like to think that now from Allegri is the past. The next coach, maybe Thiago Motta, is the future. No matter who's going to be Thiago Motta, is going to be. I don't know who's going to be the next coach. Let's just support Juventus and cheers for the team. So that's it. That's all I have. So, and and to go with Rino, I have something for Chiesa later. So don't worry. No,
So,
yeah.
question for David: do you think that today's game? Do you think that like Montero has done anything to the past two weeks? Like, do you think that
Well, I mean,
because
he's
today
had the
was the first
team.
time we saw like a different starting 11, completely different than what we
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to say, right? Because this last game really didn't mean much, right? It didn't. I mean, I guess we got conceptually third place, so there's that. But beyond that, there's no real meaning to this game, so it's hard to say. But the reality is, he's had the team for what, a week?
pretty much.
So I don't know that he could really do all that much. I mean, obviously, we had a different formation going into the game today, and whether that's the reason, whether it's Fagioli that's been available and playing the last two games, who wasn't for the entire season. I mean, it does seem that the team was maybe a little bit lighter in today's game, but I don't really know how much of that is on him versus, again,
There was
just
no
the situation.
stress. There was no pressure.
There was
And the
no
situation.
pressure. There was no stress, and Fagioli was amazing today. Okay, he was amazing the last 20 minutes on Monday. Okay, and we just seen that how important how important he is for this team, because he had some quality that actually we team desperately need. Okay, but to be fair, if we're watching this game at almost all the second half, Monza basically was attacking in our half. If we want to be like, if we want to be picky, I don't care. Okay, because he made even the day better, because Pinsoglio got 3 super saves, so I was so happy about him. So finally got the game without being scored. But yeah, it was nice to watch the game. So we have a question from the chat, guys. So Anna's asking, we got Di Gregorio, at least look official. Actually, they're thinking that is a loan with obligation to buy around 20 million with a contract until 2029 for him at 2 million per year, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and he won the title as best goal in Serie A. I think is a well-deserved prize, as he played this for what he did this year. At least against us, he always had like an unbelievable save. We know that he's coming from Inter U team. And okay, I guess Julia has an issue. So the question that is going around is, who's going to leave, Perin or Tech? Honestly, personally, I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, I think, Mike, if I had to guess, obviously, I think the team would rather keep Perin and ship out Tech because of the cost. Because I think at the end of the day, skill-wise, I think they're pretty similar. But I have a feeling that Tech doesn't want to go anywhere, right? He didn't sign the extension to to reduce his salary. I have a feeling Tech just wants one more season, and then probably he's just going to retire at that point.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see if because we know the problem is not the problem, but the problem with Tech is is his wage. So it's 6.5. So it's a lot of money for us right now. So if Giuntoli is able to find someone that offers something for him, I think he can leave. But I think Perin want to play. The problem is Perin want to play too, and he deserves to play. He's like around 30 years old, so he needs to play. So who knows? Let's see what's going to happen. So
yeah, my guess is probably, well, I mean, at the end of the day, the reason you're getting Di Gregorio is because next year you're going to need a new keeper, right, after next season. Either way, with Perin or Tech, they're going to be done with us after next season as the primary. Whichever one stays is going to be done as the primary keeper, right? So I think my guess is Perin probably wants some more playing time, to your point. So he's probably the more likely to leave. But I did hear a rumor too that potentially we'd let Tech leave for free if need be, right? If that helped him get to a new place. But I don't know. We'll see. I also heard I don't remember where I heard or read somewhere that Tech's family likes it in Turin.
Yeah, actually, there was Anna is texting. He's posting here. He said that his wife is waiting for a kid. Yeah. So I think Turin is a great place to live. There is no pressure. You can go around the city without anybody bugging you, like in other part of Italy. So, and he has a contract another year. So maybe he's going to play another year. Then he's going to retire. So we'll see. So that's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. But Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Maurizio is a nice point. Grigori is really good with his feet, and it's if Mott is going to be the choice, so we know that is important because he likes to start from the back or to his back. So
Sorry, my
that would be
internet
really.
went off. I apologize.
Yeah, where do you leave it, Julio? That the internet is not working.
He got offended that we were talking about goalkeepers and not talking about Pizzoli.
Probably, but hey, Pizzoli is staying next year, right? He's not gonna leave, right? I think
no, they haven't said anything. I think he renewed last year.
Yeah, exactly. I don't remember that. So Anas will say that Teke is waiting for a case, so I think he may stay another year. He probably anyone to stay in Turin. I wouldn't. So we'll see. That, but that's like it's something that we need to keep an eye on, because definitely one is gonna leave, and so we'll see who's gonna go. So
my money's on Perin. Well, it's the same situation, Chesney, with Alex Sandro, right? Would you leave a contract that pays that much? 6+ million. So he has another year. He makes 6.5, and then he'll decide in a year if he's gonna be a free agent, and maybe he's gonna be able to get another 6 because it's a free agent, And Perin is young enough to be wanted to get some playing time, So why not?
Stefano has another question here, and I guess we can play with the Tridente. Yildiz and Chiesa can coexist. Yeah, they can definitely coexist, and we see even today that actually it's not going to want to be a critic for Vlahovic, but I think they play really good with what Milik is playing, because he is able to connect the midfield and the forwards really well. Okay, and actually now that it looks like Milik is like in shape. It looks as showing that he still belongs to. He's a good player. He's a good player. To be fair, and I'm a huge Chiesa fan. Okay, he needs to learn how to play in a team. Okay, he needs to play in a team. He's still too anarchic, and he doesn't pass the ball. He just get the ball and just see what's in front of him. That's it. So
and that's why. No, I was saying that's why, like, if it's true that Thiago Motta, somebody said Di Marzio, I don't know who, that doesn't like Chiesa, that's the only thing I can think of, because he just plays with his head down and doesn't play with the team. If that's a true statement, which it seems like very extreme to me, that's the only reason why. I can't think of anything else.
I love Chiesa because we see what he can do, actually, and but he needs to play in a team. He needs to play with a team, with the teammates. And at the moment, it doesn't do that. I don't think it's a matter of the injury, because I think finally maybe he's back. It's more than a year after surgery. Yes, more than a year. I think he's ready to play the Euro Cup. But he has nothing to do with the injury. Anasa he always played that way, but right now he needs to play that, because we can be dangerous with him. Like imagine having Yildiz, Chiesa, having Vlahovic or whatever you want, and having people like you see Fagioli, how he was feeding today. How much we missed this year? People like midfielder having the play that the assist that Fagioli was made today.
Right.
So we didn't have him this year.
But going back to what Anna said about the injury, I think that finally it's been no more than a month, I have to say, that Chiesa seems to be back in shape like he was before the injury. So we haven't seen the whole season the real Chiesa. So Chiesa, head down, running, it doesn't work if he's not 100% in shape. Now he is, and he can do what he does. He's able to throw the ball, chase the ball, go in front of the defender, and be dangerous. Before he couldn't do it anymore because of the injury, but now I think he's completely recovered. But he can't play just like that. It's too predictable, also.
Yeah, I was going to say. I was going to say that he's a little too predictable, right? Because as soon as he lowers that head, you know exactly what he's going to do.
What's going on?
And we've seen so many times this year, and again, like you said, he's been limited physically, but we've seen so many times this year where he just lowers his head and goes straight into 3 defenders, right? And then, you double, triple team him, and he loses the ball. So if he ever learns to lift his head up, then he could really become a world-class player.
I just said let's turn the page. And if you want me like super sour, I would like to say, if you don't learn how to play soccer with Allegri, it means that you're really stubborn. I would like to say, but it's a different conversation that we don't want to go into today.
Well, in theory, Chiesa should be the ideal player for somebody like Allegri, right? Because Allegri relies on individual talent to win games.
Correct.
Right? So
Correct.
He should be the ideal player under Allegri, but for whatever reason, that just never seemed to work out. But
look, people tend to forget. Yes, he got injured, okay, and when he got injured, actually, he was playing pretty good, but it was coming for like a little because he was coming from the Euro, okay, and he had like injuries here and there during the season, okay, and then actually he started playing really well, and then he got injured against Rome, okay,
right.
But the year before that he had an unbelievable year. He scored, I think, almost 20 goals, okay, with Pirlo as a coach, But people tend to forget that he was playing on the right, where I think he belongs, okay. But on the left, we have somebody like Ronaldo, and then we have Morata or Dybala in the middle. So basically, we have people that is gonna defender were doubling Ronaldo, and Chiesa was most probably one-on-one all the time. So people tend, yes, maybe we were for playing a little more offensive than what we play like the last couple of years, okay. But people really tend to forget that part, and I love Chiesa.
And now they double on him.
Yeah,
right.
Correct.
Whether before they were doubling on Ronaldo on the other side. So it's not as simple as with the new coach is going to play better. It's not that simple. Like we can see having one man in the mid that knows what to do, like Fagioli. How the song completely changes.
I'm gonna ruin your day right now. So the system you mentioned Di Marzio. Okay, Di Marzio actually posted that Thiago Motta, that he looks like it's the chosen one. He loved Locatelli, and he pretended Rabiot is coming back. So we're going back to Rabiot Locatelli midfield. Probably that is gonna change.
I would love to see. I would love to see if at that point, if he has Locatelli and Rabiot in the mid with the same wings that he has now, whoever it is, I can't even think of who is way out with that McKennie, and he manages to make everybody play well, then I'll be like, okay, the problem was Allegri. Then I have proof, because those people can't play together. They can't manage to make the ball like move fast. I don't think they can. They're a bad match. So Locatelli with Fagioli, then it's different.
But you know what I was liking today? That Fagioli to me was best player on the pitch, okay? But probably we have like a soft spot for him in this moment, okay?
He's doing well.
And Alcaraz, I think, is play really like he looks spirited to me, okay? Yes, he made a lot of mistake, but he was putting a lot of like a grinta on the pitch, okay? And I appreciate a lot how they were moving. Actually, they were moving. They were exchanging their position. They were making the ball running. They were not carrying the ball. So it was interesting to see. So yeah, still it was a meaningless game with no pressure at all. Okay, Monza had this chance to score like we did. Okay, so we'll see what's gonna happen. So yeah, you talking probably with some of the few people that never criticize Ronaldo, because I think you cannot criticize a player.
How do you criticize Ronaldo? You must
100 goal in 3 years
in the head
so,
or something.
Yeah. She's right. But Vlahovic won the title for the best striker in Serie A. I find it like as curious, because actually the MVP is Lautaro, okay, and Lautaro is a striker, so I guess he was the best striker. But yeah, Vlahovic had like a really good season, so I still can think that he can improve. Okay, so no, in Italia, it's not. I disagree with that, but it's just
no. What they were saying, honest, what they were saying is that the Ronaldo transaction financially was the reason why Juventus went down. But you can't say anything about the guy when he was on the pitch. Like he didn't care. He wanted just one thing only to do, and that's score and win. And he always did it, even with us. Hate the guy. I hate his gut. Like I can't stand the guy. Like I never liked it before. I didn't like when he was with us, and definitely I don't like him now. But like in terms of a professional player that always did what he was supposed to do in an amazing way. I mean, 100 goals in 3 years. Nobody can blame him for anything.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, you can't blame Ronaldo. The problem is they didn't build the right team around him, right? And then, again, everybody seems to conveniently forget the whole COVID thing, right? And all the money that cost us, right? If COVID had never happened, because we essentially had Ronaldo for 3 years, and 2.5 of those years were in an empty stadium.
Yep.
Or 1.5 years were in an empty stadium. So I mean, it's. You can't really blame him. Honestly, if my opinion is that De Ligt was a worse move than Ronaldo. Not because De Ligt was that bad, but we shouldn't have spent all that money on a central defender at that point. It should have been in the midfield.
And I love the signing of De Ligt, but if you think at that signing, we signed him when we had Chiellini and Bonucci. Yes, Chiellini tore ACL actually the first game of the season. But we had Chiellini, Bonucci, and Demiral, and we went to sign in the list. So at the time, it was probably money that we should have spent elsewhere.
Yeah, so that's what I think.
But okay, so let's move on. So David, we look like Giuntoli, now is Giuntoli time to shine, right?
I think so. And if nothing else, the whether you like the Di Gregorio move or not, or the Motta move, at least it feels like we have a plan, right? It seemed like, it felt like the last couple of off seasons we've sort of just kind of waited to see what happened. But at least now it seems like we have a plan. We're moving forward. We're moving forward with Di Gregorio. We're moving forward with potentially Calafiori.
And the signing, you forget the signing of Cambiaso and Rugani. That was my question. So you agree with the signing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Cambiaso for sure, right? I think there's no doubt about Cambiaso. Rugani, again, at the end of the day, he reduced his salary. I think he's another one of those guys that's a soldier, right? He knows his role. He plays it. When he does play, he usually plays well. I mean, it's not very often that he goes in and has a bad game, which is impressive considering he doesn't get all that much playing time, right? So when he's called upon, he answers the bell. So yeah, I can't really complain about the Rugani signing. I don't think. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I agree. I agree. You need somebody on the bench. It's not you can play just with 11. You need somebody on the bench that is reliable. Next year, we're going to play in 5 competitions. And Rugani has proven himself over and over to be reliable. And there's another Alex Sandro. Never a bad word, never complaining, never not. You need these people. More. I don't want to say more, but as much as the starting 11, Yeah. So, yeah. And he reduced his salary.
Yeah, exactly.
By, I think, 30%. Or more.
I think more than that.
Yeah, it was 3.5, and now it's 2, something like that.
A little less than 2. They'll say a little less than 2. So
right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, but that was.
No, yeah. It looked like right now it's like well, let's see that. As I said, is Giuntoli starting to shine. Basically, all this year to figure out where he was and to start signing new player, because then we need new player, right? So yeah, we started we're gonna say bye to Alex Sandro. We signed Cambiaso, that actually I think was probably the best player for this year, okay, or maybe between top 3, okay. I still will. I'm really curious to see where he is gonna end up playing next year. If he's gonna come back playing like a fullback position, or we're still gonna play like in a hybrid situation, like between the defense and the midfield. I don't know. So let's see. That would be interesting. And yeah, we definitely need a goalie, guys. We need a goalie. And on the market, maybe Di Gregorio is not the best goalie out there, but he's 26, 27, and it wasn't super cheap. It wasn't that expensive. If you think it was
I think it's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, it's a reasonable.
Yeah, for the price, I think it makes sense, right?
Because and we needed a goalie, and there is no other goalie. Who are you gonna get? Donnarumma. Even if you get Donnarumma for free, you end up playing more because you have his wages. Okay, and as much as I love Donnarumma, he hasn't improved in the last 5 years. Okay. And I don't see any other goalie on the market. So yes, and we need it. So we sign him.
The Gregorio deserves to be called for the European Cup. I think.
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think so. Meret sucked this year. Like,
Meret is probably not going to be called.
Okay, so then there's
Donnarumma, Vicario.
Vicario deserves it.
I think Vicario should be the starting goalie for the national team right
Maybe
now.
Donnarumma doesn't deserve it either, but it would be crazy not to call him. But what I'm saying is, like,
of course,
the Gregorio, like, it's up there.
It's Provedel and Meret, the third and the fourth.
Vicario, Provedel, Meret, and Donnarumma right now. They're going to cut one.
Yeah, they're going to cut one. Provedel had a nice season, to be fair.
But the Gregorio was right there with them.
Yeah.
Right there. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you were going to go out and get another goalie, I think the only other real option was Karneseki, right? And he was going to be a lot more expensive. So I think the Gregorio is a good pickup.
He hasn't had that of an impressive season, honestly.
Not as much in the second half, I think. In the first half, I think he played a lot better. The second half, maybe not as much.
And he was split in time with Musso, so
yeah.
That too. So, well, listen, it looks like we have like there is competition for Donnarumma. I think Donnarumma, but honestly, I don't care about the national team. So, well, let's see what they're going to end up in the Euro Cup. So, that would be another conversation for a different day. So I actually, we need to talk about that. What do you think about Locatelli being left out?
That's just reflects how he has played the whole season.
But you had a great point, I think, in the chat, Giulio. We everybody know that you are not like a Locatelli fan, but to be fair, it was always called. It was one-on-one.
That was fucked up.
A player that it was maybe wasn't the starting one, but it was probably a bench player for the national team, okay? And it was kind of like surprising. It looks like Spalletti called him, giving like a private call. I hope that. So
it was fucked up on Spalletti's side because like he used them for all the qualification games, right? So now if he's good for the qualification game, it's not that Locatelli changed the way he played the last month or two. He's played consistently the same way the whole season. So if he's good till the qualification games, I don't know why they didn't call him. Then that to me, he doesn't deserve to be on the national team. That's a different story.
Yeah.
You know. But you ask me, would I want Fagioli on one foot while he's betting with the other hand or Locatelli? Fagioli, hands down. You know.
Well, what do you think? What do you think about Fagioli being called up?
Well, again, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I'm all right, guys, they're going to play the European Cup. Okay, it's not a joke here anymore. It's like it's 1 month, once every 4 years. You gotta have the best team if you wanna go and play. All right, people forget that. You need to have good players. You need to have quality players. You can go with these half players, Bovo, whoever they were telling me the other day. You need people that know how to play football. Okay, Fagioli is one of those.
And he's fresh.
Hang on.
Sorry.
If he comes down to, and I don't know if he came down to that, Locatelli or Fagioli for the role of playmaker that he doesn't have anyone else but Jorginho in case that guy gets injured, who's gonna play? I would choose Fagioli. Then, does Fagioli deserve to be on the national team? Nope. He hasn't played at all. 0. 1 game. So, I'm not saying deserves it, but if we put it on, like to the point where Tonali is out, Zaniolo is injured, who is the quality in the mid? Who is it?
Well,
you
now I'm coming to you just a little.
What?
No. I want to tell you I'm gonna answer that question right now. But yeah, no. I want to finish. I want to hear David.
No, I was just going to say, if you look at the Italy squad for this tournament, it doesn't exactly strike fear in the competition. Right?
No,
I mean, in any of the areas. I mean, maybe defense, it's not so bad, but you look at that midfield and you look at the forwards, and
the forward is where I start having chills down my spine.
Yeah.
Well, but look, but Scamacca given hope. He's giving some hope.
He's been playing well lately, but
I mean, hope, Matteo. It's not how you go to play.
Okay,
European,
I don't want to. Honestly, I don't want to talk about national teams, but I have another question before going to the question that we have in the chat. And the interesting one was Gatti, and actually, I think Gatti didn't deserve to be called for the national team. Okay, because the issue that I have with Gatti that I think is, I hope is a player is going to stay with us for a long time. Okay. It got a little bit humbled down by this. not call. So I don't know what you're thinking about, but I love his attitude how he play the pitch. But I was talking with my dad today and said, "Hey, Dad, I don't mind. I like Gatti, but Gatti needs to understand that he's Gatti. He's not Nesta Maldini, or he's Gatti. So you need to know what is his place on the pitch. That's the
I'm gonna say something crazy about Gatti. Okay, I'm gonna say something completely insane. All right. So Gatti reminds me of a very young, rough Chiellini when he was not that good with his feet. Okay, he has the attitude, he has the will, he's humble, he's strong, he's attached. So he has, I think, margin to grow, to become something. He's not that yet. He's not that yet. He's doing what he can with what he got and with who he got next to him too. You know, he's not the one who's gonna teach somebody. He needs somebody to teach him, right? So he has potential. Am I surprised he didn't make the national team? No. I mean, I think the people that Spalletti called are better so far, played better than him, give him more stability to what Spalletti needs. But I think he can get there. We'll see.
Yeah, we know we're going to have a tough group stage. I think it's going to be Albania, Spain, and Croatia in that order. We'll see. Probably going to be a quick Euro Cup for us, but we never know. So
that's good. They get some rest before they come back and back to the.
So you were in 1977. I had this question, Tiago. There is a lot of talking about these formations 2-7-2, and it's not really a 2-7-2. It's because it's got a like famous when it started. I think when it come from the youth team on Paris Saint-Germain to like Genoa, usually you see 4-3-3. Okay, you need to rotate the field. Okay, and there's gonna be 2 on the right side, 7 in the middle, and 2 on the left side. Yeah. So and it's counting the goalie. Guys, honestly, actually, even today I was trying to watch a game, and there was time they looked like we were playing a 3-4-3, time we were playing a 3-5-2. Then I was clearly sometimes they were a 4-2-3-1. Nowadays, 4-4-2, 4-3, they're just a number, okay? And I wouldn't pay too much attention on that. It's mostly like how you play the game, and so it's just like to make more conversation, I would like to say, but there is nothing that serious because I think Motti is playing with nowadays he's playing with a 4-1-4-1, for example. It depends. It always depends on the player you have and how the player is interpreted what you do.
And who you're playing against and the situation on the field.
Right.
I was going to say that I like the idea of a 2-7-2 because it gave us an extra player. And that could always, that could help with where we are at the moment.
Yeah, but that's the goalie.
Well, maybe we could sneak in an extra player and no one notices.
Well, but you play with Inter, they have like 13 or 14 because there is the referee, the lineman, the VAR. So
the VAR.
You're not gonna play.
Hey, let's talk about that miracle that happened today. The first time we ever had a VAR decision go our way.
No, it wasn't really a VAR decision going our way, but
it didn't go against more than that.
No, actually, no, wait.
Well, I just felt bad. Honestly,
it was the handball. It's because of the handball.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I just feel bad for the refereeing crew because they'll never work again in Serie A or behind the VAR. So it's a shame for them. But
we're making fun of it. But thinking about that and how much the VAR system is applied in Italy, because we see that in other country, VAR is just basically it comes here and just like not so often. Let me say that. How is it possible that in 38 games for Serie A plus 5 in Coppa Italia, you never had an episode calling your favor?
Because that's not what VAR is for. VAR is for taking stuff away from us, not giving us stuff.
Okay. Oh, yes. Oh, okay. So that is in the protocol. They say
yes,
that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, that's interesting.
They need to change a few things. They definitely need to change it.
I think the simple thing would be, and I know they keep saying, well, they review everything, whatever, but I think they should make it an on-call VAR, right? So you have your couple times, just like that. just like they do with sports here in the U.S., right? It would be good to allow a team to say, hey, you have to go view this, right? And then the decision might not change, but at least you forcibly put them on the spot, right? So, like the game the other day with Dusan getting fouled 4 times in the box and them not even looking at it. At least force them to look at it, right? And then whatever, they can come up with their reason, say what they want, and still probably overturn it for us. But at least you put them on the spot, right?
Right. But another thing that I don't understand, because I'm totally in favor on the on-call, the VAR on-call, okay? But today, there was the last cycle of the game that happened, okay? Why we have to wait for 1 minute for another referee to decide if the referee need to check the episode? Hey, there is something to do with it. Go check the VAR. Or let the VAR take the decision. Why we have to lose another minute for? So
that's the problem.
That's I really don't get the part. I don't get that part.
We've talked about this with Matteo and other situations, and we agree that the VAR people shouldn't be referees that are refereeing on the pitch,
right?
For several reasons, right? Just think about this. Now you need to make a call against your colleague. Now you're the VAR. You need to make a call against your colleague to begin with, which is already uncomfortable enough. On top of that, your colleague might get butthurt. Next time he's on the VAR, you're on the pitch. It is going to happen, that kind of dynamic. It needs to be separate. The VAR needs to be experienced refs, maybe those that retired, right? And you can put them now on the VAR. You need to have experience on the pitch. And the people on the pitch, they need to be separate.
That's
completely.
Well, but I think the problem too is that the VAR is viewed as going against the referee on the field, right? It's not necessarily. They have a different point of view. They have 1 million cameras they can watch from all different angles. They see something that the ref on the field doesn't see. It's not a question. It's not a question of overturning their decision or whatever, right? I mean, so I think that's kind of fundamentally an issue, right? Is they view it as this going against the referee on the field, where it's really, hey, here's something you didn't see, check it out. But
it should be, but that is
but still it should be on the call. Okay, you have 1 call, 2 call. You wasted that. That's your issue. Okay, and let someone else decide for it.
Yeah,
correct.
That's it. And I don't think. Look, I have a bad mouth for referee, and you guys know. Okay, but I really don't.
Never noticed.
Right, correct. But to be fair with them, it's not an easy job. Sometimes I call some games with the kids that they coach. It's not easy at all sometimes. So, but and the play in professional sport goes so fast that nowadays they need help. And they totally can miss something. But so if we had the technology to fix it, let's fix it.
I think that's a good point too, though, because on the one hand, to Giulio's point, right, the VAR doesn't want to offend the ref on the field. But on the other hand, you have refs on the field that don't want to make the call because they feel like, oh, well, if I get it wrong, then VAR will overturn it.
It needs to be separate.
I think it becomes a crutch for the referees, and then it's not used properly to begin with. So it just creates more problems than it solves a lot of times.
Yeah, that will be.
What did you guys think about?
And then the problem is you have this replay and you still get the call wrong.
Yeah, that's okay.
But that depends for the color of the jersey that you play.
That's true.
What do you guys think about Giallo today? Those
I think they should give him some longer shirt to begin with. I just found this shirt being super short. He impressed me that the run that he had. Well, yes, it wasn't the end of the game. It's other than being like. Kind of being Itzo, okay, he was probably tired, but he was able to basically sprint for like 50, 60 meters. It was impressive, actually. Right. So, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm just glad to see that he's a real person. I was starting to think he was just a mythical creature that was rumored to be on our bench somewhere.
Would you guys renew Alcaraz time with us? Like again, same condition, as a loan for another year, maybe, or whatever.
I wouldn't mind to see him for another year.
On a loan, sure. Obviously, there's no way you're going to buy him for the price that he's set at.
Neither for half of them.
Yeah, another loan wouldn't, to see what he can do under the next coach. Wouldn't hurt, I guess. Again, like you said, we need players. So, he's at least shown some spirit in the games that he's played. He didn't have a great game today, but it's hard to say. It's hard to say without really seeing him.
I hope they're gonna take a quick decision with Rabiot and I mean quick decision they will let him go. Okay, but I don't know what you guys think because and even here I still think that Rabiot is an elite player, but he cannot just show for like a bunch of games a season.
Yeah, I think the problem with Rabiot is what's it cost to replace him, right? Because, I mean, I don't know. I just don't want to be in another situation where you sign him for another year and then you have to go through this nonsense again next summer. If you're going to sign him for a long-term deal and figure it out.
Problem, are you going to sign him for like because he's basically asking for 7 million. I don't think he's going to accept less than that.
No, guys, we can't do this again. We can't be in a situation like Alex Sandro again, where we give him like a 4 years deal at 7.5 million.
But Rabiot is 20. What is it? It's 28. And when he play, he's an elite.
29.
He's an elite.
What is it? 29?
And I think it's 29. 29. But he's an elite. When he plays, and I want to see him go. Okay, but decide. Don't stay like 50-50. Go. Yeah. Or is it yes or is it no? The problem is, are we still going to see Rabiot and Locatelli next year? Because we everybody on the group think that the issue is not the Rabiot or Locatelli per se, is Rabiot and the Locatelli together.
Yeah, right. But then only one plays. That's what we're saying. So who you bench? Locatelli at that point.
You bench Locatelli,
right?
At the point. So there was a rumors today. Di Marzio was on fire today. He said that the Juve offered 40 million to Atalanta for Cup minors.
How much?
40.
40.
And Atalanta said no, we want 60.
Atalanta can keep him like Carnevali kept Berardi, and then we'll see what happens next year. I mean, they can ask. Jesus, 60 million. That's. Again,
that seems too much.
It's too much. They need to. He's playing. He has played well. So I understand why. But playing with Juventus is different. They can tell me whatever they want. Anybody can tell me, but he won the Europa League. But yes, but playing with Juventus, the pressure you have with us is different, and that's what's killing Locatelli. I think.
I want Ederson, guys. And before last week,
you both.
I would pick Ederson over Locatelli and Rabiot, and we'll put it like in the middle. But Ederson was like something else. It looked like an Emerson in the prime, in his prime. So, and so the other news is like it looked like a Calafiori should be a done deal. And hopefully, it just sucks that he had to go to play the Euro Cup. Hopefully, he's going to be cut. Sorry for him, but I care more about Juventus than him. But what?
No, I doubt it. They will be cut. I think one between Bellanova and Buongiorno will be cut.
Yeah, but again, it's only going to be a couple games, so they'll be back
3 games. It's just 3 games. So,
but think about Bellanova. Okay, Bellanova played all year this year for Torino. Okay, and I think Torino got him from Cagliari from like 6 or 7 million. If now it wasn't that expensive. Bellanova played last year Champions League final. He came on the pitch for the last 30-35 minutes and actually had a decent game. I don't think he's that great, but he's a solid player. Okay, Inter didn't have the money to buy because he wasn't on loan from Cagliari. He didn't have money to so and Torino ended up getting him. Okay, and I think he's a solid player. But he just asked me, but does someone check the chip balance from Inter, or they're just like
No, there's
they
no
just
need.
raise the hand and say, yeah, we're fine, okay.
There is no need. Now it's going to be interesting because they actually are passing that law where they're creating an independent commission to check the finances of the teams. It's
Yeah, but
actually
if
happening.
it's that La Russa making the commission, it's not going to change. We know that.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's
No,
just
but okay, but
No, my concern is it's just one more opportunity for them to screw us and use different rules than they use for everybody else.
That might scare you. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a great point. Yeah, and going back to the other Buongiorno, there is a lot of conversation to see Juventus signing Buongiorno that I had no idea why, because at this moment we even have let's even say that we sign Calafiori. We have a lot of center back at the moment, if you count them: Gatti, Rugani, Bremer. Let's count Calafiori. How is he coming back? Danilo, Giallo. There's 7.
Yeah. Like 2 need to go, if not 3.
If not 3.
Well, but I doubt Houston. I doubt Houston ends up staying. I mean, I feel like he'll get sold, and then who knows about Danilo, right? He might.
He has one more year. I think another one.
Yeah, but then if he plays 50 more games, he's gonna automatically renew. So it's the same thing that happened with Alex Sandro. So we'll see. So, well, I think we exhausted all the topic we had today and I don't know. I don't know this player, honestly. I think he's the one that was on loan to Sassuolo, if I'm not mistaken. But I personally, I don't know him, Maurizio. So I don't know if you guys know him. No, okay. So
no, I mean, I know of the player, but I really haven't followed much how he plays.
Maybe it depends on the player we saw. We'll see. So
I'll leave you with one last question. Have you heard Di Lorenzo might be leaving Napoli? Will you get him?
He's a right back, but he's a right back with his ears in the back already. So I don't know. But we definitely
depends on the price, right?
Depends on the price, and you got to see Giuntoli dealing with De Laurentiis. That would be like
with Manna.
We'll see. Yeah, I know. You know the problem with us with this Maurizio, that his contract is expiring in a month, and he hasn't signed yet. So we'll see what's gonna happen there.
Yeah, I mean, he's 30, and there are not many right backs out there. Left back. That's our main issue. So
yeah.
I just leave it at that.
Okay. So, hey, I had to go cook. So
yeah, I gotta go too.
All right. So that was fun. David, thank you for joining us. Julio,
thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you.
I love you back.
Keep in mind, Juventus.
With an eye, right? Ciao, ragazzi.
Ciao, buonasera.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.